Are you ready for some football?
Chargers, Chiefs. An option play here for Stick.
You just want to play sound and with good technique.
On 3rd and goal, football comes loose. Kansas City has it with Edwards, and he's off and running. Edwards has a blocker, and he's going to take the rock all the way back for a Kansas City touchdown. 97 yards. Eckler lines up top of your picture on 3rd and 6. Stick buried, and it's Chris Jones, and he finally gets to the quarterback. And look at the reaction on that Kansas City sideline. Pay that man his money. And all Andy Reid cares about is getting one of his defensive stars off this field healthy. Or you think they love Chris Jones down in that locker room?
Yeah.
Look at the reaction from his teammates. $1.25 million bonus. So here's Harrison Butker, AFC Special Teams Player of the Week. Bit of a surprise, wasn't picked for the Pro Bowl this week. A bit of a snub with the season that he has had. On pace for the best season of his career. And the 22-yard chip shot is good. So the Chiefs build on their lead.
I was only supposed to play for 1 quarter. I can't. 1 quarter turned to 2 quarters, 2 quarters turned to please come, let me get one more drive. You know what I mean? So thankful to Coach Reid that he allowed me to play because this was more so about bye week. And I didn't have to play, you know, but the team allowed me to play, so I'm super grateful for that.
Blaine Gabbard with the long runs. I mean, who would have thought that? He did a great job with it. P. Ryan, McCole, you know, these guys, they did a nice job. Offensive line kind of makeshifted in there, and we were able to get some young guys reps. It was great to get Chris that sack, the 1 sack, and it took him a little bit. He had, I think, 8 hurries getting there, so he really played a good game, but it took him a while to get the actual sack. Mike Edwards with a touchdown off of Charles's big hit. And then Malik and the other young guys, I thought just finished the game off well. The stand down in the red zone there, goal line area, to make them kick a field goal. I thought that was big. So that time's yours.
Bills, Dolphins.
Tua turns, toss it to Achane running the right side along the numbers 20, cuts back 15 to the 10 to the 5. Achane is gone. Touchdown Miami. Devon Achane takes it around the right side for a 25-yard touchdown run, and the Dolphins have taken the early lead. Allen wants the shotgun snap. He's got it. Fakes the handoff. Fires over the middle. Pass batted high in the air. It's caught. Back in the end zone by Sherfield. Touchdown Bills. Durham Smythe goes in motion to the left. Low snap. Handled by Tua. Throws right. Caught by Tyreek Hill. Touchdown Miami. The quick throw to Tyreek, who celebrates with a cartwheel and a flip. 3-yard touchdown pass, and the Dolphins back in front of 13-7 late in the second quarter. A spiraling kick, backing Hardy up all the way to the 5-yard line. Hardy starts left, cuts right across the 10, over the 15-20, over the 25-30, 35-40, down the numbers on the left side. Deontay Hardy is gone. 20, 15, 10-5, touchdown Buffalo. 95 yards for Deontay Hardy, a punt return touchdown, and it brings Buffalo to within 1. Josh Allen in the gun, 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. Cook in motion from the right. Allen back on a play fake, throws short right. That one is caught, and diving to the end zone for the touchdown is Dawson Knox. Josh Allen finds Knox for a 5-yard touchdown, and the Buffalo Bills have taken a 4th quarter lead. Tyreek Hill limps to the sideline. He will not be out there for this second down play. Second down 10, 1:17 to go. Tagovailoa in the gun, Jeff Wilson the running back. 2 receivers to the left, make it 3 now. Single man to the right. Berrios in motion to the left. Tagovailoa back to pass. Looking, throws, left sideline. Intercepted! It's picked off by Taylor Rapp, and that'll do it. The Buffalo Bills are going to win the AFC East. They will be the 2 seed in the playoffs. Taylor Rapp seals it with an INT of Tagovailoa.
Okay, well, good night.
Good morning, Kansas City. Welcome to the Border Patrol for this Monday, January 8th, 2024. My name is Nate Bukaty. Jake Gutierrez, who put that wonderful intro together, is running the show today. And it's time for the playoffs, baby. After 18 weeks of us cussing and discussing every single move by the Chiefs, all that stuff is in the past now.
Playoffs?
All that matters is how the Chiefs perform in the postseason. And now we get ready to find out if that championship pedigree is still there in this group of players, if they can overcome some of the flaws they've had to deal with throughout the course of the season that showed up, if you remember, all the way back to week 1 in that game against the Detroit Lions, and kept popping up all the way through the meaningless game this past weekend against the Chargers. Will they be able to overcome those things? Will they be able to tap into the amazing winning DNA of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Andy Reid? Will this defense be able to carry the day? Well, we all get to find out now, as the Chiefs will be hosting Tyreek Hill and the Miami Dolphins coming up on Saturday night at Arrowhead Stadium, a night that figures to be brutally cold. A brutally cold night. We haven't really had to face the true harshness of a Midwestern winter yet. But you know it's coming, right? Like you always know. Maybe it's going to be a really brutal month or two. Maybe it's just going to be for a few days or so. The winters vary around here. But you know at some point there's going to be at least a few days where it is nasty.
Single digits.
The high the high on Saturday, they're calling for 19 degrees. The low, 0.
There you go.
No degrees. There will be no degrees at some point on Saturday, and of course, it's a night game. So, welcome to Kansas City, Miami.
Playoffs?
We got a full show for you today. Todd Lebo will join us at 6:30. Catherine Tappan at 8 o'clock. Chase Daniel at 8:30. Bill Moss at 9:05. And I'm wondering if we might not want to reach out to our old buddy Gary Lezak at some point to see if he wants to give us a little weather. I don't know. I'll shoot him a note. Maybe Jake can shoot him a note too, see if he wants to do something late in the show today. Just because it looks like we got weather today and this coming weekend. The national championship game, by the way, will be tonight right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB, and it'd be a nice night to just kind of cuddle up with a nice hot cup of cocoa, because I'm looking at this weather app on my phone, which Lezak says I should never do, but it doesn't look pretty, man. Well, I mean, I guess if you think snow is pretty, but it looks like a lot of rain during the day today, turning into snow at some point this afternoon, and then going all night long and into tomorrow morning. So it's on the way here. We'll see how it goes. You heard in the open the highlights from the Chiefs game, and then the highlights from the Bills-Dolphins game last night. And Jake asked me a good question. Hey, which one do you want first? Do you want the Chiefs highlights first? Do you want the Bills-Dolphins highlights first? And let's just go ahead and play them in order. You know, the way the games unfolded. And also in order of the significance of the result, like what it means to us here in Kansas City. It was kind of a weird weekend in that regard. You know, the games that mattered for the Chiefs happened first, but the game that mattered the most happened last. And then right there in the middle, a game that I don't know how everybody else felt, but for me, it was a game I just wanted to get over. I just wanted the damn thing to end, because the Chiefs lost both their tackles during the game to injury. Wanya Morris goes out with the head injury. Juwan Taylor goes out with an injury later. And meanwhile, Chris Jones is still running out there series after series. And, I think that the whole situation relating to Travis Kelce and Chris Jones goes to show you what an inexact science coaching a team must be. And how we can sit here and second guess this or try to predict that, which is what we do. We're having fun. We sit around and we talk sports. Hey, what do you think about this? What would you do if you were in that situation? Who do you think should play? Last week, we had one brief conversation, Jake and I, about the Kelce. Should he play? Should he not play? And I think I said something along the lines to Jake that I kind of just can't get it out of my head that if this really is team first, if this really is about what's best for the team, he shouldn't play. Because he's clearly beat up and tired. He needs the rest. But basically, I let everybody in town talk me into, no, he's got to play. That's just 16 yards. It's a team goal. The offensive linemen play a part in it. The quarterback plays a part in it, and it's Hall of Fame legacy stuff. This isn't just some little milestone. So I came around like, okay, this kind of fundamentally goes against it to me, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's not selfish. Maybe, he's got, just get him out there. Let's get the record and he'll play. On the flip side, Chris Jones, there's no Hall of Fame legacy involved in terms of just this statistic, really. Maybe they can just cut him the check and just give him the money so he doesn't have to play. So the whole time I had in my mind completely twisted on what was going to happen. Kelce will probably play. Jones will probably sit. And it's not selfish for Kelce if he plays. And then Kelce doesn't play. And Andy Reid says, well, he felt like it would have been selfish. Yes. Why don't I have the confidence to stand by my own convictions? I think it's a great move by Travis Kelce. I think, in particular, in light of just everything that's going on, a guy who is trying to be a leader with the young group of players, who's already made a ton of money, who's dating the most famous person in the world, it seems, and doing Saturday Night Lives and all those other things. A gesture of, hey, this isn't about me and my individual stats. This is about us as a team trying to win. The Chris Jones thing, I don't even know what to make of it, because during the course of the game, as I'm watching players all over the league get hurt, could you believe how many big-name players went down with injuries this weekend on teams that are going to the playoffs? TJ Watt, that right off the bat, and he's having an incredible game. Like he's the most important player on the field in this game, and he goes down. Laporta goes down. I mean, you just, I don't even need to go just injury after injury after injury. And then the Chiefs get in the game, and their guys are getting hurt too. And every time a guy gets up slowly or anything, you just go, oh, man. And Chris Jones is still out there. And when he starts playing first, I'm like, okay, how long are they going to give him? We find out afterwards he said that he was supposed to play a quarter. And then turns into 2 quarters. And then the second half. They're telling you on the broadcast, Andy Reid's trying to take him out of the game, and he's begging to keep going in. And I, at one point, tweeted, it sure seems like the football gods are telling you, giving you every sign they can that, hey, get him out of the game. This is a bad weekend to play fast and loose with this stuff because guys are getting hurt everywhere. And then he goes and gets that sack. And the celebration from his teammates. Have you seen the Chiefs happier this whole year?
Not ever.
Not ever.
Not ever.
No way.
Not
no
ever.
way.
Not this year.
They have not seemed that happy all year long.
It made me happy.
Oh, my God.
I was like, that was worth it.
Yeah. I was like, well, worth it.
Wow.
Worth it for that moment right there. Those guys, and I can't remember who it was I was watching, maybe it was SportsCenter or something, but somebody was saying, hey, when big man gets paid, everybody eats. Dinner is on him tonight. That's why these guys are all happy. They're going out to a nice meal, and Chris Jones is paying for it. But obviously it's more than that. It's not just they're happy because they got a nice steak last night or whatever. They were genuinely fired up for the dude. And it is kind of a reminder, too, I think if you ask some of the guys, like, hey, what matters more, the Hall of Fame boasting stats or another $1.25 million in your back pocket? I think they'll take the money. It is a pro sport at the end of the day. This is their profession. This is their job. This is how they make their money. That stuff matters to them. For a lot of the game, I was thinking, hey, maybe if you played that game against the Lions, you wouldn't be in this situation. Do you still remember Chris Jones up in the suite? Was that the same suite as the Taylor Swift suite?
I don't think so.
Is it close to it?
I don't. It seemed like he wasn't behind glass.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. But my point being is like all week talked into the idea that not only will Kelsey play, he should play. Right move. Chris Jones, not so much. What's happening? Kelsey doesn't play. Chris Jones does. Plays longer than anybody thought he should. And by the way, I was worried that he was going to hurt himself on the celebration. The way he went running off the field, jumped up into the air, fell to the ground. I mean, we've seen that happen before, right? And I'm just like, oh, boy. I was holding my breath when he ran off the field celebrating. But what brings me back to the point of how inexact of a science this whole thing is. You know, Mike McDaniel plays a guy late in a game, they're getting blown out, one of their best defensive players with 3 minutes to go, and his season's over. Did he make a mistake? How do you know? Andy Reid lets Chris Jones continue to play in a meaningless game so that he can get a statistic that'll get him paid. And it works out. He gets the sack. He doesn't get hurt. And we talked about this last week. I don't want a disgruntled Chris Jones going into the playoffs. I want a Chris Jones that's on board. The same thing with Travis Kelce. I mean, if Kelce really wanted to play in the game, I think Andy Reid lets him play. And so maybe that's what it comes down to at the end of it. But what hit me when I saw the celebration was this is a lot more than just about a disgruntled Chris Jones. That, as Jake and I both said, was the happiest you've seen this team all year. And they need something like that. This team needs reasons to be happy. They've needed reasons to be happy all year. And you can say, well, we as a fan base, we're spoiled. We in the media, whatever. We're spoiled by watching this team be so damn good. 9 straight playoff appearances, 8 straight AFC West championships, all these appearances, 5 straight AFC championship game appearances. We've been so spoiled that we can't even appreciate a year where they just get the 3 seed, in the AFC. And that's true, but it's true for them too. As frustrated as Travis Kelce might be with the media or the fan reaction to things this year, it's been on display on the field for this team all year too. They've been frustrated. They The things that drive the fan base crazy have been driving this team crazy all year, too. That's why they're slamming helmets on the sidelines and arguing with each other and having the moments that they've had this year. They've been frustrated. It hasn't been as easy this year as it has looked on offense for them ever since Patrick Mahomes stepped into the huddle. They have had they have, by their own admission, had discipline issues all year long. All that stuff. And it's been frustrating for them. So what is the value? Nobody can give you a Pro Football Focus value on what a moment like that does for a team's psyche. Just going into the playoffs, having rest, and then having a moment of joy, of collective joy, where they're all happy for their guy, you know? And so in the end, as soon as you saw a celebration, you're just like, well, that was worth it. That was worth it. I'm glad they did it. Now, had he gotten hurt in the second quarter? Oh, my God, what would we be saying? What would everybody be saying? And, you know, that's something that always, to me, needs to be remembered when we second-guess a coach for this or that after the game. That man has to stand on what he chose to do. He's the only one, right? He's the one that has to stand, maybe him and Chris Jones, but he's got to stand there and say, yeah, I'm okay with how this thing turns out because I don't know how it's going to turn out. And I'm okay with the potential consequences of this action right now. And Andy Reid did that, and it worked out, at least in that specific sense. And now the Chiefs finally get to play a team where they're the more rested team, both from the standpoint that they played earlier in the day than the Dolphins did, and from the standpoint that the Dolphins played a serious game last night and had more injuries, by the way. And the Chiefs get to play at home in this miserable weather, and the Dolphins, who play in Miami, who aren't used to this kind of weather, have to come to it. Man, what a weekend it was. We're going to break a lot of it down. We'll play sound for you from after the game. There were still a million things that were interesting about the game, by the way. McCole Hardman's wild ride. I mean, highs and lows. It was the full McCole Hardman experience all the way around. You had a scoop and score for a guy that came on our show earlier this year. You had the whole storyline with Chris Jones, so it wasn't a game without storylines. But of course, there were games all over the NFL that actually had implications on the playoff seeding. We've got all the seeding for you. We've got it all broken down. Of course, Sports Radio 810 WHB will be your home for the playoffs. We've got the college football national championship game tonight. We'll have all the playoff games except for the Chiefs coming up this weekend. Of course, we'll have our Chiefs pregame and postgame coverage like we always do. And we will start breaking down these playoffs because, man, it's hard to find anything better than the NFL playoffs. And I think this year's playoffs will be as wild as ever. We'll take a break. Back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
This is Chris Jones. You are listening to the three biggest fools in Kansas City, Steve, Nate, and Jake on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
This is an Elvis anniversary today. It's his birthday. Elvis's birthday today.
Well, would have been his birthday. He knows no longer living.
It's still his birthday.
Okay,
It's
all
still
right,
his birthday.
It's still the day born.
Hey, happy birthday to my wife, Denise. Her birthday was
there you
yesterday.
Hey, happy birthday, Denise.
She's having a horrible morning because we just discovered that the leftovers from our birthday meal were put in the wrong containers, and somehow my son has her leftovers, and she really wanted those. So she just texted the family, savor it for me. Ah, well.
I have a tendency to get Indian food on Mondays for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my favorite things about it is there's always like a whole bunch of leftovers.
Yeah.
And certain leftovers reheat better than others. I find Indian food leftovers reheat incredibly well for me.
Yeah.
And I walked out of the restaurant on Monday.
Left it?
And I left the leftovers.
Dummy.
And when the realization hit me, it was devastating.
He was sad. I haven't been in here. I haven't had a Monday with you guys for 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Todd Lebo's voice you hear here, by the way.
What we had? We had New Year's Day,
Christmas,
and Christmas.
Yeah.
So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
December 18th was the last Monday we did a show.
You can't say Happy New Year. This is the 8th. Larry David.
Yep.
Jake
1 week.
I couldn't remember exactly which date it was, but
I came across that meme and I was like,
Elvis's birthday. That's it. You can't do it.
Can't do it. That's the cutoff.
You can say
I'll always remember that now.
On Denise's birthday.
That's
the
the last day you can say it.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, screw you guys then. Happy NFL playoffs.
It's not a New Year. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Sad Black Monday. Arthur Smith already gone. I don't know.
And he gets.
Well, he got his money's worth.
My goodness.
Boy, he was mad.
Well, that was a real ball
dad
game at halftime. I mean, that thing was tied up, and Desmond Ridder comes out, just throws an awful interception to start the second half, and then the wheels fell off. And then they literally fell off because it just got worse and worse and worse for the Falcons. And the Saints needed to win to try to force their way into the playoffs, which they did their job. They won their game, okay? That's all they could do on Week 18. Now, they didn't need to maybe score from the victory formation, but apparently that
Jameis Winston
was
is
not
one
called
of the
by
most
Dennis Allen. Jameis is Jameis. He wanted to eat a W.
I mean, what a weird dude.
You wonder why they haven't just given him the reins.
No, you don't.
No, I don't do it.
No, you don't.
I actually don't.
I've gotten a lot of things wrong. I've got a lot of things wrong. And Jordan Love might be toward the top of the list as he continues to get better, but we'll see.
Well, you guaranteed the Jets were going to win the playoffs.
I didn't guarantee that, but I did pick them. I did pick them.
They haven't had their quarterback.
I didn't. Yeah, but you know what? Whatever.
They They beat the Bills in his only start, and he had a lot to do with it.
Did he?
He played 3 plays.
Yeah,
anyway,
yes.
I did say Jameis Winston is. I did not ever believe in him, and there was a reason why. Poor decision maker. That was what I told you back when it happened.
It hasn't gotten better.
He is a poor decision maker. He has showed that time and time again. And so yesterday, they're up, 41-17?
41-17. It was 17 all at halftime.
They get a pick. It goes down to the 1 yard line. They're in the victory formation.
Yes.
They got the dude back. They got the protector back there, 12 yards deep.
That's a key right there. It's one thing is like if you decide, hey, we're going to punch this thing in to get our so-and-so fullback his first ever touchdown.
You line up.
Get
under center.
And you let the other team know, hey, we're running a real play here.
They were huddling up.
Instead, they lined up in the victory formation and then handed the sucker off for a touchdown. Arthur Smith's last play as a head coach.
Ugh.
And he goes out there and he's MFing the coach for the Saints. Dennis Allen, right?
Allen,
D8. As you'll hear Jameis Winston call him here. And this is the bizarre explanation from Jameis Winston after the game.
Well, I apologize to DA because the play was victory. But I also explained to DA that it was a team decision. And I think when you have a team morale, and I asked the guys, I said, guys, like, what do you want to do? We know how much Jamal means to this team, and I understood from DA's perspective. So I give him that. But DA didn't condone that at all. You know, he didn't. However, we decided as a team to do it, and man, we got an interception to the 1 yard line. You know, like. So if we would have scored, would it still would have been disrespectful? Right. You know. So
Tyron wasn't in on it, was he?
No, Tyron was not in there.
No, I'm just kidding.
Like it was an offensive team discussion. However, when you return the ball to the 1-yard line, and you have that opportunity. We just had that opportunity, and we decided.
Do you think it's the kind of thing, though, that is forgotten fairly quickly, or, you know what I mean?
I think it should be forgotten, especially when the score is already 41-17. So I don't know how much worse it can get. But I got a ton of respect for Arthur Smith and the coach that he is. I think they do some incredible things. I didn't want to disrespect him. That was not my intention. My intention was to lead the team that I've been with the entire year. And we made a collective decision that we wanted to get one of our guys who they fight with blood, sweat, and tears every game in the end zone. And I'm going to feel good about that. Yeah.
So no regrets, huh?
No regrets. Well, this is the thing. It's about the team. It's not about regrets. It's not about anything else. It's about us as a team making a collective decision. But I do apologize to Dennis. I apologize to DA because that was not his call.
When you said decision made, was it right there on the spot, right when y'all line?
What decision are you talking about?
At the end.
Okay. At the end, what decision?
To go for the touchdown.
To go for the touchdown.
Was that something decided on the sideline after the pick, or did you wait till you got out there to do it?
We decided on the field as a team. I mean, we don't regret. Do we regret for scoring 41 points on them? Do you think we regret that?
Well, you do have to play these guys twice a year. That's all I'm saying.
We already played them twice.
I know, but I'm talking about the future. You know, somebody's got to play these guys twice a year. That's all.
How do you feel about it? Tell me how you feel about it.
Not good.
Why don't you feel good about it?
Because you got to play these guys twice a year.
But what about it makes you not feel good about it?
I just don't. The head coach tells you to kneel it out. You're asking my opinion?
Yes.
I think you should have kneeled it out.
Okay. Well,
I'm just telling you as respectfully as I can. You answer my question as respectfully as you could, and I'm telling you as respectfully as I can that I respectfully disagree with you. That's all.
You disagree with me or the entire team?
Whoever made that decision.
Okay, so you disagree with the entire team. So thank you.
No, I'm just being honest and respectful.
And that's what I'm attempting to do too. Yes. And that's what I am doing.
So.
How do you not have regrets, but you're sorry for doing it? I don't know, dude. Jameis, this dude.
Well, here's a short clip of Dennis Allen's comments when asked about it after the game.
We should have taken a knee right there. They asked me about getting Jamal a touchdown at the end. I said I wanted to take a knee. We put victory out there, and the guys kind of wanted to get him a touchdown, and they did that on their own. That's not acceptable.
Arthur seemed pretty upset after the
He should be.
Is that what he was
He should be.
referencing?
He should be.
So as an entire team,
Well, the offense, or just maybe
the 11 guys in the huddle,
or at least three guys there. I don't know.
The coach part of the team. Is he part of the team? Is that
It's actually,
By the way,
made a collective decision.
he's the head of the team.
I'll answer for Jameis here. No, it's not disrespectful to run an interception back. Yes,
Right.
it is disrespectful and probably what you shouldn't do to score from victory formation, which I don't know if I can remember anyone scoring from victory formation at the 1-yard line. I've seen people score and line up and say, we're not done yet.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. We're going to run it up. I mean,
Yeah.
there was a famous Buddy Ryan did that, I think. And, really got that. I think the Eagles-Cowboys thing really going back in the 90s. I mean, he's like scored on them late. I've seen that happen.
Right.
I've seen people throw their first-team defense back on the field to prevent a score, to get a shutout. I mean, I've seen all kinds of stuff happen. A lot of college stuff, you see that, those kind of things. But I don't know if I've ever, in a game that you're already up by 24 points and there's a minute to go, and your coach tells you to kneel it out, that you decide to score.
I mean, it's wild. It's wild. And you can see, like, Arthur Smith didn't even believe that because he goes out there and he's dropping F-bombs on Allen, and Allen's like, you can see, he's like, hey, man.
It was Jameis.
I didn't call that
I swear
play.
to God.
And he's like, whatever.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, shed no tears for Arthur Smith, okay?
Whatever.
Arthur Smith got fired. He got a chance to be a head coach. They didn't win enough games. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Do you know who Arthur Smith's daddy is?
His father?
Yeah.
No.
Have you ever heard of a little company called Federal Express?
Oh, yeah.
Fred Smith's his dad.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's
Yeah.
all right,
He'll be all right.
Oh, he'll be fine.
He'll be all right.
And he's going to get money and all this stuff. And they didn't win enough. And he probably shouldn't have even had that job. I don't know.
He should have. He got it.
The reason I remember, the reason
it doesn't hurt to have your dad, be a major, like a partner with the National Football League. Blah blah blah.
Oh,
I
you
mean,
think
whatever,
that means that he's just got it all handed to him on a silver platter, Todd? You don't know his life story.
I know he started on third base.
And thinks you hit a damn triple.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough about that.
I do remember that because I remember listening to Daniel Jeremiah saying, that when they hired him, when you grow up in a situation like that and your dad's the GM of a football team or your dad's the head coach or whatever, it's the dinner table conversations that you have. You learn a lot as a young man or young person when the dinner table conversations entail leadership all the time and what it means to run a big business. He probably learned a lot from his dad.
I'm sure he did.
About how to run a big business. Well, the Falcons, I believe, they're the only team in the NFL right now that will have a top 10 pick 4 years in a row.
Hasn't gotten better, huh?
I think that's what I read yesterday. They'll get a top 10 pick for the 4th straight year.
Maybe just take another running back.
And
yeah, go ahead. That's how you do it. Running back. First round.
Anyways, we spent too much time talking about that
was
game,
interesting.
But it was just interesting. It was just wild. Like because I wasn't really paying close attention to that one.
No,
as
soon as that happened, Twitter, boom.
Yeah, they weren't even showing
it.
They weren't even showing it on Red Zone really anymore.
Right.
They had to go back and show it over because it was like, all right, there was games afoot.
Right.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, he did. I thought he was a terrible decision maker, but this is bizarre. So, all right, we know the playoff bracket now, Todd.
Are you surprised the Chiefs are on Peacock? By the way, for everyone listening here, it's on Channel 41 here.
Right. It's
Don't
on
freak
the
out
local.
here. Now, if you're a Chiefs fan and you live in
San Clemente, California, like my brother.
Like your brother.
Right.
You got to get the Peacock.
Or borrow mine.
Or borrow Jake's because he's got it for EPL. I mean, this is what it is. We've been living with this.
It's smart for them to do that.
We've been living with this in the Big 12 for about 5 years with ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
There have been plenty of times where we've had KU K-State basketball game, KU Iowa State basketball game on ESPN Plus. They don't do it to bury them there. They put these on there to make you subscribe. What was the first ever Amazon Prime Thursday night game? It was the freaking Chiefs.
Chiefs and Chargers.
Okay, so this is what they do. I did not think they were going to do that with this game, but they did.
Smart.
I mean, they're out there. Listen.
It's a business decision. It's
they
smart.
know if they get 10,000 Taylor Swift fans to log in for $6, and there could be probably a lot more than that.
Because I mean, more than that.
Just to hope to get a glimpse of Taylor Swift. I get it. And they're putting the champs on. They're putting the Taylor Swifties out there to get. I'm
a soccer nerd, so I already have Peacock, so I couldn't care less.
And you live here in Kansas City, so it doesn't matter to you.
Sound that soccer alarm, baby! I've had the cock forever.
Whoa.
That's what we call it.
No, you don't.
Peacock.
Yes. But it is funny. I've seen on last night social media was going crazy.
Cock
How can I watch
baby.
this? Here's the deal. If you're here, this is the exact same thing that happens on Thursday Night Football. If you're in the local market, you get to watch it on over-the-air TV. And sure, the NFL is greedy. Whatever. This is what they do, though. I haven't been able to watch a Royals baseball game in 3 years because they're on a streaming thing you can't even get.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the world. You want to watch EPL? You better have Peacock. You want to watch a lot of the Champions League stuff is on Paramount. There's lots of these things that are out there. By the way, you're paying for all kinds of shows, too, FYI. You want to watch a show that's produced by Netflix? You know what it's on? It's on freaking Netflix. Not passing that out for free either. Get used to this. They're going to do this.
We'll talk more about it. We've got Todd Lebo in studio on Sports Radio 810 WHB. just to bring it home on the point about Peacock, and again, as Todd pointed out, if you're living in the Kansas City area and you can get KSHB 41
or Miami,
you can watch the game
now,
over the air, so to speak, or whatever.
Very curious on how far the kingdom reaches on that front. I don't believe, like, if you live in Omaha, you're part of the kingdom.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're part of this kingdom. I don't know what that market is. That'll be interesting for folks.
If you are a fan of a niche sport, a niche. What do you say, niche or niche?
I say GIF.
I say
GIF.
niche.
If you're a fan of a niche sport, which is what soccer is in this country,
you probably got this.
You're used to this subscriber model.
Oh yeah.
You know, like Steven is big into the combat sports. You're not getting many combat sports that just over the air for free if it's a big event, right?
Yeah, it's ESPN Plus.
Yeah,
it's all that.
And so
The Zone.
you know, as you said, like, dude, as a soccer fan. I mean, I'm sitting here as a representative of MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. You sign up. You're used to this. I've got to have the Peacock to watch my English Premier League. I got to have Paramount Plus to watch Champions League and Serie A. I've got to have ESPN Plus to watch the Bundesliga.
Hulu if you want to watch
FA
Championship.
Cup. Yeah, and so you're used to this. I mean, and it is really just it's paying for cable a la carte. In a different way.
Which is what we asked for, and now we don't want it?
Because now we're in this weird space where you kind of got to do both.
Yeah.
Like you got to have some kind of, I've got YouTube TV now so that I can watch Red Zone and watch all my NFL games.
By the way, don't forget to unsubscribe to Sports Pack.
And
Red Zone is over. Save yourself $11 a month. I did it yesterday.
So there you go. See, I got to do that myself. And then, but then you get a bunch of channels you don't necessarily need or want.
Yeah,
but
it's what it is.
It is what it is.
By the way, if you spend $6 a month for Peacock, there are 14,000 things on there you will never watch.
I mean, that's the thing. Who can watch all the stuff?
You can't watch everything that's on everything.
And everybody's fighting. All the streaming services are fighting for subscriptions. So they're going to put things like this on there for the subscription.
What we've noticed over the past 10 years is the thing that gets live eyeballs, is sports. You go look at the list was published of the top 100 things watched on TV. How many of them are sports? There are sports all over the place on that because it is what live eyeballs will watch.
Yeah, there's a sense of urgency to watch it as it's happening.
Yes. It's appointment television, and it doesn't matter. Now it's appointment stream or it's appointment, whatever you want to call what you're watching is. Because, as you mentioned, Apple is a Major League Baseball partner. They have Friday games on there, and MLS has the whole thing, right? Paramount has soccer from around the world. Peacock has soccer from around the world. ESPN Plus has all kinds.
Everything.
I find myself this time of year, like Saturday morning, I had nothing on. I was watching. There's this game called Bukaty, which is like team tag in India. I was watching it live Saturday morning because it's on there.
Get some money down on it.
There's cricket. There's all kinds of these things that are niche everywhere.
Max is picking up that stuff too.
Yes, Max has some things, and the Yankees did this with Amazon last year and had some games exclusively on Prime and just freaked a whole bunch of people out. You know what I mean?
I think that our experience with the Royals is where because a lot of people come to me and say, man, MLS, now I got to pay to watch these games, and what's the deal? And my point is, but they're available. If you want to pay some money, a little bit of money,
if you got the internet, you can find it.
You can watch all the games wherever you are, whenever you are. No blackouts, no restrictions, and that's something that MLB's got to figure out because they got blackouts and restrictions on all kinds of things to where I live in town and I can't watch the games unless I completely change my subscriber.
Yeah, you gotta circumvent the system, get a VPN.
Well,
I mean, it's just like. Or if you lived in the state of Iowa, you might be blacked out by 5 MLB teams.
The bigger story here is after the NFL robbed us of the chance to have Tyreek Hill at Arrowhead Stadium during the regular season, it was like maybe this shows that it's all fixed because they knew all along. We're not going to play that regular season game at Arrowhead. We're going to have the playoffs at Arrowhead in the freezing cold, and Tyreek Hill, banged up and all, is going to come in. And the Chiefs are going to play the Dolphins. We'll have much more with Todd Lebo right after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Playoffs?